No property owner or landlord shall be made or any lease term or tenant rules that allows them to enter any room designated by law for safekeeping of personal protected information, medical record, national security secrets. You don't wait until war starts before you start passing legislation. You prepare yourself the way that they are going. As you can see, escalation is going on, so it's very important for them to do that. Such confidential medical or health records or confidential or secret or top secret information or trade secret or intellectual property. For financial records like the banks, they have cleaners that go in there. So if it's your office and it's under the lock and key, you don't know when somebody goes in. You may be working and step out, and then it's time for them to come and inspect or clean, and then all the information is on your desk. You don't have the time for you to put them away and secure them in a lock cabinet or something like that, and somebody walks in. That should be prohibited enforced as part of the building code, so that no other, especially those in commercial building that's under the law of contract, the law of common laws that they use, cannot use a clause in the lease or in the rules of the building to gain access into spaces and places where they are forbidden by law that requires the consent or certain permission to be able to access. So that will give the law that empowers, for example, person in charge of medical record is empowered to do so, and then but it's taken away by the rules and the terms of the lease by those in commercial properties. Take it away. So it's very important, because that was shocking to me to see that this is happening. Standard lease everywhere, and then people getting outside. They can even go there and take something out as they structure their terms. They can go and take anything, and then once you give them that permission, you sign these things without reading them, and then even if you read it, everywhere you go is the same. Then therefore it invalidates an act of the General Assembly or the Congress that gives such authorization to such entity or person to secure and protect those data. Criminal history, national law prohibiting and instructing on how to protect criminal history, so that if we go back into physical file, the protection should be there. Notice shall be given 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, depending. And I will post it so that we make sure we protect ourselves. We have a lot of people in our country now, we don't know who they are, don't know who they work for, which governments they work for, whether they are, which kind of actors they are. So we need to start to protect our stuff. And this one is prophecy. This one is prophetic, because I like to ask God about anything that I encounter. I ask God first. I ask God first. The HIPAA law must be protected. The HIPAA law protects all these things, and people who are involved with protection of these things are empowered to do so. It shall not be taken away by any commercial property owner or landlord or stuff like that, who prohibits and makes rules in order to gain access into spaces that are not authorized, that are prohibited to gain access. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, I encourage Governor Westmore to look into that and immediately enact a law to prohibit any such unauthorized access, or else be prosecuted for invalidating or infringing upon the law that already prohibits them from gaining such access. I'll talk more about this. And then in today's message, Did I miss anything today in the terms of the message? Did I miss anything? I think for now that is it. In the word of the Lord today, I just want to remind you, because I'm not going to give you too much, because already coming from the retreat, some people already quit the church because they want to live in their old ways and do not want to live under the guidelines that is set by God. So I'm going to try not to give you too many words, but I just want to say today that you should go to the book of Proverbs in chapter 15, verse 22, and it says, without consultation, plans are frustrated, but with many counselors, they succeed. So for the messages that we give today, and for the people that are in the authority and in the position to effect those changes, for them to do so for the general good of the republic and the general good of our state, and for the protection of our people, our citizens. And that is what we are saying. Protection of the future also is what we are saying. To make things better is what we are saying. In the book of Proverbs chapter 19, verse 21 says that many plans are in a man's heart, but the counsel of the Lord will stand. The counsel of the Lord will stand. Some of the things I said here are the things that came out of the counsel of the Lord. And that will stand. And the advice and the general advice based on experience, if you don't like it, you can forget about it. But I also inquired to see the future and what problem it could pose. The problem of compromise, especially if no peace is reached, if the crisis continues and spread around the world. Remember, there was a prophecy about that too. And what if this happened, then they